Scorpio soul, your most beautiful moment is closer than you think. Tomorrow, Monday, November 10th, something is coming that may move you to tears, not from pain, but from deep, sacred joy. A miracle is approaching, and its arrival will confirm everything your spirit has quietly hoped for. This isn't just another astrological reading. It's a divine appointment. And I believe you've been guided here because your soul is ready to hear what's about to be revealed. If you're still watching right now, that means this is not a coincidence. Not a click driven by curiosity, but a soul-deep resonance, a magnetic pull between your inner knowing and the message unfolding here today. On Miracle of the Sign, we don't just predict futures. We listen for the echo of truth within you and hold space for the transformation you've been praying for. And let me ask you something from the start. Have you ever cried from the sheer force of clarity? The kind that doesn't just explain your past, but restores your future in one breath? That's what tomorrow carries for you, Scorpio. That's why this moment matters. So take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. Ask yourself, gently but honestly, am I truly ready to receive what I once thought I had lost? Because what's coming for you isn't random. It's a turning point crafted by the divine. You're not broken. You're being positioned. What felt like delay was never denial, it was divine redirection. And what I see in your chart, in your cards, and in your energy field right now confirms it. You've reached the edge of the waiting. Now, the light returns. The star card rises in your reading like a lamp lit in the middle of the night. It promises hope that doesn't fade. It promises restoration in places you stopped looking. And when paired with the wheel of fortune turning fast, urgently, beautifully, the message becomes unmistakable. This is the moment to act. This is the hour to trust. Scorpio, you've endured in silence. You've loved deeply, even when it cost you. You've hoped when you weren't sure hope was still allowed. And heaven heard you. I believe with all my heart that God doesn't wait for perfect circumstances, He steps into our weariness with perfect timing. This message was sent to you for a reason. Don't doubt it. You are being realigned with your calling, your peace, your truth. And it starts here, in this sacred conversation between your spirit and the divine intelligence of the universe. Take a moment and comment below to confirm your soul's alignment with what is unfolding. Say, I open my heart to receive my divine miracle, now. When you declare it, even silently or in writing, you send a signal into the spiritual field, a signal that says, I am ready. And heaven answers that kind of courage. Always. Let me also take a moment to thank you. Your presence here, your likes, your comments, your support, it fuels this space. It expands this community of light. It allows me to keep showing up with messages that I pray lead you to breakthrough, not just prediction. Thank you for walking this sacred road with me. And Scorpio, trust me on this, you will want to stay until the very last moment of today's message. Because what the universe is about to reveal? It's breathtaking. Quiet, powerful, precise, just like you. Now tell me, what part of your spirit led you here today? Let's begin. Scorpio, as we move deeper into this reading, something sacred begins to unfold, not only in the cards but in the still spaces of your spirit where words often cannot reach. The star has appeared in your spread today not merely as a card of beauty or symbolic encouragement, but as a spiritual marker, a celestial confirmation that your soul has passed through the dark night and is now entering the quiet dawn of restoration. The star doesn't promise a sudden explosion of results. It doesn't shout or rush. It simply shines gently, patiently, unfailingly, even when everything else fades. That is its power. That is its invitation. And that is why it arrives at this exact moment in your life. You may have wondered, silently or aloud, whether the things you've prayed for, hoped for, wept for, would ever truly return. This card answers that ache, not with noise, but with presence. It says, yes. What you thought was lost is already on its way back, softer, stronger, and more aligned with who you've become in the waiting. Astrologically, the moon now transiting your 12th house illuminates this message even more profoundly. The 12th house is the place of endings, yes, but also of spiritual surrender, of divine preparation. It's where illusions are washed away and deep truths are born. It's the inner womb where transformation is conceived, not always seen, but always sacred. The moon here invites you to rest in mystery for a moment longer, to allow the tides of your inner ocean to rise and fall without resistance. What you are feeling now, Scorpio, is not confusion. It is renewal disguised as stillness. And here, we turn not only to astrology or tarot, but also to what sacred wisdom has taught us for centuries, that grace is not earned by perfection. It is received in surrender. As Psalm 34 verse 18 reminds us, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. If you have felt broken, weary, unsure, then you are not far from the miracle. You are in the direct presence of it. The healing that is arriving may not look like fireworks or grand gestures. It may begin as a sigh, a breath, a gentle shift in the way you see yourself. It may come as a word someone speaks to you that opens something old and hidden. Or it may appear in the form of rest, real rest that you haven't allowed yourself in far too long. The star whispers, this is enough. You are enough. And from here, new light will grow. You do not have to prove your worth to receive what is next. That's the outdated belief you are shedding now. The pain you carried wasn't proof of your failure, it was the place where your roots were deepening. You were never buried. You were being planted. Let yourself receive this shift without guilt. That's part of your healing, too. Don't rush to fix anything. Don't grasp. Simply breathe. The universe is already in motion on your behalf. And more importantly, your heart is now ready to believe that again. So if something inside you feels like it's loosening, if you feel the tears wanting to come for no clear reason, let them. It is not weakness. It is release. You're not falling apart. You're returning to yourself. And if this moment speaks to something quiet and deep inside of you, I invite you to confirm it. Comment below, not for me, but as an act of alignment, I open to the light of renewal. I receive the peace that is meant for me. By naming it, you anchor it. And the star will do the rest. Following the soft light of the star, which gently restored your hope and quieted the ache of waiting, now enters a much louder force, the wheel of fortune. While the star invites you to believe again, the wheel dares you to act. Its message isn't passive or poetic. It's kinetic. It's turning. It says, now. This is where the reading shifts from stillness to motion, from reflection to response. And Scorpio, I want you to feel the pulse of this moment because the next 24 hours are not ordinary time. They are charged, awakened, aligned with something far greater than logic. Astrologically, the wheel mirrors a moment when your personal timing syncs with cosmic timing. This isn't just a window of opportunity, it's what we call a kairos moment, a sacred opening where what you do, or don't do, alters the course ahead. The wheel rarely shows up to offer comfort. It shows up to shake things loose. To offer you a choice not between good and bad, but between staying safe or stepping into your potential. But let's be clear, movement here doesn't mean recklessness. It doesn't demand dramatic gestures or instant resolutions. It calls for honesty. What are you postponing right now that your intuition keeps bringing back up? What small thing could you do today, not next week, not someday, to affirm your readiness to evolve? The law of attraction teaches us that the universe responds not just to desire, but to direction. Desire without direction is a wish. But desire with aligned action becomes magnetism. Every step you take toward the life you want becomes a signal. And right now, that signal is amplified. Think of it like this. The wheel is already turning, the only question is whether you will turn with it. This is the time to make that call you've avoided. To send that message you've written in your mind 100 times. To finally say yes to something your soul keeps circling around but your fear keeps shelving for later. Not because someone else needs it from you, but because you need to reclaim your own momentum. Energy-wise, this is what we call an activation portal. It doesn't open forever. And if you wait too long, it closes and moves on. Someone else who is ready might walk through that door instead. That's not to scare you. It's to remind you that your life responds to participation. And not making a choice is still making a choice, one that often empowers fear instead of faith. So what do? You take one small step. Write down the top 3 decisions you've been avoiding. Choose one and move toward it, even if that movement is simply acknowledging the truth aloud. Action doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be real. The wheel doesn't wait for perfection, it waits for alignment. I want to invite you to treat this moment with reverence. As a spiritual reset. As an intersection between who you've been and who you're about to become. And yes, it may feel uncomfortable, but so is outgrowing the old version of you. That discomfort is not punishment. It's the sign that your soul is stretching. If you feel the truth of this in your body right now, a tightness in your chest loosening, a knowing rising in your gut, trust it. That's your inner compass aligning with divine flow. And if you're ready to engage with this shift, even gently, even quietly, I encourage you to write in the comments below, I choose to move forward with courage. I open the door to my next chapter. By naming it, you give your momentum a place to land. Let the wheel turn with you, not without you. When we move into the realm of love, soul connection, and emotional resonance, something incredibly subtle yet profound begins to stir beneath the surface. If the star brought hope and the wheel demanded movement, this next chapter of your reading, Scorpio, invites you to soften. To feel. To lean into the invisible threads that bind us to one another, not through logic, but through energy. Through memory. Through sacred presence. Whether you're currently single or navigating a relationship, what's arising now is not the surface-level kind of affection. This is not about romantic performance or societal ideals. This is about soul recognition, the quiet knowing that someone truly sees you, not just for who you appear to be, but for who you are when no one is watching. If you are single, the cards show a presence approaching with the emotional depth of water, Cancer, Pisces, or perhaps another Scorpio like yourself. But don't expect them to come with grand declarations or dramatic entrances. Their love language is subtler than that, an unspoken understanding, a shared silence that feels safer than words. The meeting will feel almost incidental, a glance, a pause, a conversation that lingers longer than expected. It won't come through apps or effort. It will come through energetic readiness, through alignment, through divine timing. And if you are already partnered, something even more sacred is possible. The love that once felt dulled by routine or wounded by misunderstanding is not lost, it is waiting. But it's waiting for space, for surrender, for a softening of defenses so both hearts can be heard again. Gifts won't heal what silence has hardened, but empathy will. Listening will. A simple moment of non-judgment where one person says, "This is how I feel," and the other replies, "I understand," can dissolve years of miscommunication in a breath. The cards echo this. The Two of Cups speaks of mutual resonance, not just physical attraction but emotional attunement, a heart-to-heart recognition. The Six of Cups draws from memory, from the nostalgic ache of what once was or what could have been in another timeline. And Temperance, as always, is the healer, the integrator. It reminds us that relationships are not meant to be symmetrical, but harmonious. The goal is not perfection, but peace. There is no force more quietly revolutionary than this kind of connection, where you are not asked to shrink, to hide, or to become something smaller in order to be loved. Instead, you are loved precisely because of your full presence, your honesty, your softness, your strength. In the teachings of spiritual alignment and energetic healing, we know that relationships are our greatest mirrors. They show us the places where we still withhold compassion, both from others and from ourselves. And they also offer the most immediate opportunities for growth. That's what's being offered to you now. A chance to reimagine love not as effort or sacrifice, but as a sanctuary, one where you are allowed to be exactly who you are, and still be chosen. This is not the kind of love that begs to be chased. It's the kind that arrives when you become the version of yourself that no longer seeks permission to feel deeply. And when that frequency becomes your baseline, your relationships, present or future, will naturally adjust to meet you there. If someone comes to mind as you hear this, someone who makes your heart feel just a little bit softer, a little bit safer, don't ignore that energy. Whether it's a memory or a person in your life now, that warmth is real. Send love their way. Even silently. Even if they'll never know. Energy always knows. And if you feel moved to do so, I invite you to comment below with their name, or simply say, "I honor the love that softens me." It's not just a comment. It's a vibration. A signal sent through the invisible currents of this vast universe. And that signal, Scorpio, is never left unanswered. Following the softening in your heart that love often brings, now we shift into a realm that is often more complex for many of us, the realm of money, value, and the expression of your work in the world. But here's the truth, Scorpio, and it's a truth you may have felt in your bones for a long time now. Your financial life is not separate from your emotional or spiritual one. It is a mirror. And right now, It's reflecting something profound, a turning point that has everything to do with your self-worth and your ability to allow abundance without guilt, doubt, or delay. When the Ace of Pentacles rises alongside the King of Pentacles in a reading, it's not just an economic forecast, it's a spiritual signal. The Ace is the seed, a new offer, a fresh path, a tangible opportunity that holds long-term value. The King, on the other hand, is mastery, ownership, a knowing of one's worth and the ability to steward wealth wisely, not from fear but from grounded confidence. Seeing these two cards appear together is rare, and it tells me this: the universe is not asking if you're ready to survive. It's asking if you're ready to thrive. You may soon be offered a chance to step into greater financial responsibility, a promotion, a contract, an unexpected payment, or a collaborative investment. But more importantly, you're being invited to rewire the way you value yourself. Because opportunities are meaningless if you don't feel worthy of receiving them. If you keep pricing your time, your energy, or your voice according to the fear of being too much or not enough, you will find yourself shrinking into roles far smaller than your purpose. Money responds to energy. Not just hustle or skill, but to energy. And the energy of someone who quietly honors their value, who is willing to hold space for their gifts, even when others don't fully understand them yet, that is magnetic. That is the kind of vibration that wealth recognizes and gravitates toward. It's not arrogance. It's sacred responsibility. This is the time to sit down literally and write out a new financial vision. Not from the place of scarcity, but from the place of alignment. What are you actually being called to build? What part of your income is still attached to survival? And what part wants to fund the version of you that is stepping into purpose? Your chart and your energy field show clear support right now for long-term financial stability, especially when you make room for decisions that reflect emotional clarity. In numerology, the number 7 reminds us of inner wisdom and reflection. 10 marks completion and new beginnings. 24 and 31 bring harmony through discipline. 88 and 777 call in divine abundance through energetic alignment. These numbers aren't magic shortcuts, they're frequencies. Echoes of decisions you've been guided to make. Let them guide you as anchors, not escape routes. And color, oh, how color carries power. Emerald green reactivates the heart chakra and aligns you with prosperity grounded in self-love. Golden yellow reignites your solar plexus, restoring confidence, clarity, and the ability to say, I deserve. Try wearing these colors this week, especially when making money decisions. Let them serve as visual affirmations of your rising vibration. As an act of conscious anchoring, I encourage you to take time today or tomorrow to review your finances, but do it differently. Light a candle. Make it sacred. Handwrite your intentions. Identify which expenses are habits based in avoidance, and which are investments that actually nourish you. Create a savings fund not for emergencies, but for your soul's mission. Name it. Claim it. If this resonates, I invite you to affirm your alignment by writing in the comments below, I honor my value. I am ready to receive wealth with purpose and clarity. You don't have to chase money. You just need to become a vessel that holds it with reverence. And you, Scorpio, are ready. And now, Scorpio, we arrive at a sacred edge, not the soft glow of reunion, nor the golden light of abundance, but the sharp shimmer of discernment. After the heart opens and the path begins to unfold, there will always be something or someone that tries to dim that flame. This is not to create fear, but to awaken clarity. To protect the new fire that is just beginning to burn steadily within you. Because while blessings expand your life, they also reveal what can no longer stay. The appearance of the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords together is never random. These are the cards of quiet sabotage, of hidden competition, of subtle emotional manipulation dressed up as friendship or support. Sometimes they show up as confrontation. But more often, they come as pressure. As forced timelines. As people who smile when they help you, but then make you feel like you owe them more than gratitude. And perhaps worst of all is those whose energy feels like a weight after every encounter, even when their words are kind. Scorpio, your nature is deeply loyal, emotionally intuitive, and astonishingly resilient. You pick up on the unsaid, the unspoken, the subtle shift in someone's tone or gaze. But sometimes because of that same compassion you hesitate to draw lines. You tell yourself you're overthinking. You try to fix. You justify. And in doing so, you often carry people who would never carry you the same way. That pattern is being brought into the light now, not to punish you, but to empower you. In energy work, we know that expansion requires space. And not just physical space, energetic, emotional, spiritual space. If you are moving into a new chapter of joy, clarity, and purpose, then the people around you must be willing to respect that light. Anyone who dims it, delays it, or tries to redirect it toward their own unmet needs is not aligned with your next level. You may feel guilt surfacing. That's normal. The nervous system resists change, especially in relationships where the roles are deeply ingrained. But remember this, protecting your peace is not selfish. It's stewardship. It is your sacred responsibility to guard your inner flame, especially now that it is beginning to burn brighter. And you don't need to explain yourself to everyone. Your body already knows the truth. Pay attention to the signals, the tension in your chest after a conversation, the pressure to make fast decisions without space to feel, the subtle sense that you are never doing enough to repay someone's kindness. These are not signs of healthy connection, they are signs of energy misalignment. And your healing path requires you to respond accordingly. Start small. Pull back from one interaction that leaves you depleted. Choose silence over apology when no wrongdoing exists. Remind yourself that real love in all forms does not require you to dim in order to be accepted. As you begin to anchor your new values, the law of attraction will respond. The moment you say no to what drains you, you make space for what aligns. And that alignment creates momentum far beyond logic. So Scorpio, if part of you feels called to finally set a boundary, trust that call. It is not an act of rejection. It is an act of return, a return to self, to balance, to truth. If this resonates with you now, breathe into it. Let it land. And if you feel guided, affirm it in the comments. I protect my light. I release what no longer honors my energy. Not because you are hard, but because you are finally soft enough with yourself to stop bleeding for those who never asked how deep the wound was. You are not here to carry the weight of others' insecurities. You are here to rise, fully. And that rising requires sacred space. Trust your knowing. It is not wrong. It is your compass. And it's pointing toward freedom. Scorpio, if you've stayed with me until this very moment, then you already know this isn't just a reading, it's a mirror. A portal. A quiet invitation to come home to your power. Tomorrow, November 10th, is not an ordinary day. It is a threshold moment, a divine edge. And if you walk through it with intention, even just a single step forward in truth, the energy will shift in ways you didn't think possible. Not because the stars magically fix everything, but because your alignment with the right time, the right action, and the right belief changes how you show up for what's already waiting for you. This isn't about luck. It's about readiness. It's about recognizing that the very moment you choose to believe you are worthy truly, deeply, undeniably is the same moment the doors begin to open. So let me ask you this. What would happen if, just for today, you decided to stop doubting your timing? What if you let go of needing every answer and instead committed to one courageous step, a conversation, a journal entry, a promise to yourself that you won't shrink back again? What if your softness was never a weakness, but the exact frequency the miracle was looking for? You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't need a flawless plan. You just need to be willing. Willing to honor the fire within you and the peace that's trying to find its way back to you. Scorpio, walk near water tomorrow if you can. A river, a shoreline, or even a simple shower in quiet solitude. Let it remind you of movement, flow, and emotional cleansing. Let it hold space for the tears that come not from sorrow this time, but from recognition. Because what's arriving is not the beginning of something new. It is the return of something sacred you once forgot, the knowing that your light was always enough. Whisper this softly to yourself, I cry with joy. I am ready to enter the most beautiful moment of my life. Say it like a promise. Like a declaration. Like the truth that your soul already knows. And when you're ready, share your affirmation in the comments below to seal this connection between your spirit and the energy that's been guiding you here. Write, I open my heart. I am ready for the miracle of November 10th. Every comment, every like, every moment of your presence here is deeply felt and gratefully received. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Thank you for trusting Miracle of the Sign to hold this space with you for you. Your support is the reason this message continues to reach the hearts it's meant for. If this reading touched something in you today, I encourage you to subscribe, stay connected, and come back whenever your soul needs realignment. We're not here to predict your life. We're here to remind you that your life is sacred and your choices matter. So, Scorpio, what step will you take? What flame will you protect? What miracle are you willing to believe is already finding its way to you? Remember, you're not late. You're not lost. You're exactly on time for the destiny that has always been yours. Let's walk through this door together.